First we feed our little chickens. And now we can work on a motorcycle. What we have here is a 1983 GS 450. Previous owner did a little homemade cafe racer thing to it. See, we got pod filters in there. Took out a bunch of stuff, although it looks like he left the frame tabs alone, which I guess is a good thing. We got these little do handles hanging off of the what's-it. Custom seat cover. And I guess the front fender was taken off. It was running great 2 weeks ago, and what happened was he had a small electrical fire. And I'm looking at these parts, or these wires right down here, and I see what he's talking about. We got some burnt up wires. This probably goes to the igniter. Charging wires seem okay. Doesn't really seem to be any other damage. Basically just here to the igniter. So, I bought this bike for 50 bucks. Pretty cool. Shouldn't take too much to get going again. Oh, and it came with this box of groovy parts. Let's see what's in the box. Nice side panels. I mean, these are 50 bucks just themselves on eBay. All his original parts that he took off. We got a good battery in its box. Bunch of junk lying around. The Suzuki emblem. I know where that goes. Stuff like that. Clean title. Starter solenoid. Where did, aha. Alright. So I guess it was the igniter is still good, and it was the regulator rectifier that caused him problems. You can see here, that plugs in right there. So once I clean these up, for now what I'm going to do is just basically re-insulate these wires with some electrical tape. Fire this bike up, see what happens, see if it charges. That'll let me know if I need a new one of these buggers. And then I'll go all the way back up here and just sort of replace the wires. Good thing about these electrical fires is that you can basically see where the damage is done, at least to the wiring, because the first thing to go is the insulation. So you can see how far up the damage went, basically. Not sure what happened. The first step is obviously fixing the wiring, and then the second step is figuring out why it happened in the first place. Either there was a failure in here, or probably most likely is when he was making his Cafe Racer modifications, he basically just jammed all this stuff up here, and you know, we got some hot wire grounding out to some ground, and that's what caused all the heat. So yeah, gonna put this all back together, fire it up, and see what happens to it. Alright, so now I have all the wires twisted back together. There wasn't too much damage to anything except for this one ground wire. So we have that all taped up, insulated from its fellow wires. What we're going to do right now is throw the battery in, hook up these two components, throw the starter solenoid back in, and just see what's sort of working and what's not, and we'll take our repairs off from there. So battery's in. We're getting neutral and headlight action. We're not burning anything up yet. These go to the starter solenoid. Whoop. Let's not tempt fate here. There you go. Starter solenoid. and then we're going to plug these in and see what happens. So running into a couple of snafus. First off, the wire which activates the starter solenoid is not receiving power when you press the button, so I got to diagnose that. The starter solenoid was damaged during whatever event caused this fire, so that's getting replaced with this spare one. And the battery's a little weak despite being on the charge all night. Even though it's got good voltage, it's not putting out the amps. So try and charge up a little bit more, see if it'll work for diagnostic purposes while I'm still working on the bike, but ultimately this bike's going to get a new battery. Alright, so I found something very interesting. Turns out the battery wasn't bad, the battery's good. It's just that the bike was set up to ground through the wiring harness. So instead of having a direct ground from the battery going to the frame or the case of the motor, it was all going through the wiring harness, which is why the majority of the burning of these wires was on the black with white stripe wire, and that's like the common ground for all the smaller electrical components. Basically, high amperage draws like the starter motor was drawing all of it, was getting its ground from the from very small wires. So I have that repaired. That's good. Still got to fix the starter solenoid, find out why it's not activating when I hit the button, and then we'll try and get this thing to spark. Right now we're not getting any spark out of it. So yeah, fun, keep on going. Great success. Let's put this thing back together, see how well she actually runs. So it takes a little while to warm up with the pods. That's not a big deal. We run, we rev up hard, we charge. Looking great, looking really good. So now my task is to permanently clean up that wiring. Going to replace the burned up bits, and then sort of jam all that shit all in there. So it'll stay, it'll be protected, it won't rattle around and short, and then put everything back together. Well, here we go, final product. Looks great, runs great. I got the side panels on, put the front fender back on, because you know, they're there for a reason. Left these straight bars on, it's whatever. This whole mirror setup, okay. See, it is what it is. Glued the Suzuki emblem back on. Just like brand new tires. Battery's great, runs great. 1983 Suzuki GS450. It'll make someone very happy. Very good first bike. Only 18,500 miles. So here's the ultimate question. What do you guys think it's worth? Now I'm going to say this. You guys are the best YouTube fans in the history of YouTube. Every single one of you is awesome. And I love you all. However, you are terrible at guessing what a bike is worth. The last bike, I think like 30 or 40 or so of people guessed. Maybe one or two of you were even in the ballpark. Yeah, what do you think it's worth? To incentivize some good guessing, I am going to include a prize for the first person who's closest but not over. So check this shit out, right? I just got this from eBay. It's like a whole collection of these wheel emblems from all different types of cars. Got Firebird, Dodge, Infinities. Got a nice BMW one there. Whoops. Here's some more of them. We got all kinds of stuff. Rally wheels. Oh yeah, what is that? Subaru. Other stuff. Ones I don't even recognize. Look at this one. This one's huge. MSW. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to give that one away. Look at that nice Datsun. I got two of them. Special edition. We got some regular Chevys. Here's a Mustang. More special edition. Wow, that is a beauty. These, anyone know what those ones are? The world ones? I don't know. Look at that Ford. God, that's gorgeous. 4x4, I'd say that's from like an old Datsun maybe, or like a Mazda. We got some GMCs. Here's another Ford. So, ooh, here's a cool Honda one, old school Honda. So it's like, you know, if you have one of these cars that's missing their emblem, it's great, but really these are just these like acrylic or plastic. Ooh, here's a nice Camaro. Maybe I'll keep that one to show my own Camaro pride. You know, if you're a car fan, you take this and you can stick it on something and you'd be like, yeah, look at that, Suzuki. You can be like, yeah, you know, I'm showing my car pride. Here's this cool thing, this self-adhesive thing that I can stick on, I don't know, Trapper Keeper or whatever. So, yeah. Closest one without, oh nice. Here's a nice Volkswagen. Closest one without going over, I'll toss you a couple of these cool emblems. Are Rover? Rolls Royce? I don't know. That one's cool. Look at that one. So I'll toss you a couple of emblems in the mail and you'll be happy and I'll be happy. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Later.